Hey, boo, hey. So, I just finished watching this interview that everyone was waiting all day for. So, this is the girl that is the alleged side chick. Her name is Chantel. They met each other in Vegas. Maurice was there. Maurice is always there, apparently. He could never do anything without Maurice. Maurice was his alibi. Um, what are some of the highlights? He approached her. Um, Whenever they were together, it was always at Credit One, and there was no bed, and she didn't mind it. She that kind of girl that's just ready to get down with the get down. He made sure there was never no paper trail, always through someone else, which is smart. She kept calling Marsau Martell, which sometime. But then again, I kept getting confused sometime because Martell and Marsau was there at the same time, and it was just confusing. But I figured it out. That was my own thing. I didn't even need to say that. Anyway, um, they met in Vegas, like I said. Marsau didn't pay for her in Vegas at all, which was one of the things that was her biggest pet peeve. She said she ended up having to come off maybe $300, and she was invited out there, and she felt she shouldn't have to pay for nothing. She was very grateful that Martell was there because he was helping her out sometime, because he felt that because she was flew out, why should she have to pay? And he would say things to Marsau, I guess, what have you. So whatever, she was very grateful that he was there because he was nice to her and helped her pay for a couple of things because he's a ladies' man, as Arionne would say it on here in this interview. Um, they got drunk all in the same room one night in Vegas, and that is how she and Maurice ended up having a thing, or getting a choo choo ran on her. I guess Marsau in the front, Maurice in the back, or however it went, because I guess they all got drunk. Her and Marsau started, doing their thing, and then Maurice woke up and he joined in, I'm supposing, and she enjoyed it very much. She went by YOLO. She actually said YOLO. I could not believe it. Yes, she did. She actually said YOLO. What else? Let's see. Arionne asked her if they use protection, and she don't even know. She can't remember. She's not sure because they was gone. They was drunk. Mind you, her and Arionne both had a glass of wine while this interview was going on. Was it Inez wine, I wonder? Anyway, there's quite a few times that Arionne turned it toward Martell. There were times where she would ask him questions right after she would ask Chantel a question. Chantel would give an answer, and then she would automatically just look at Martell and be like, and what about you? And what about you? I'm wondering who was also in the room with them. There were a couple of times where they were Martell and Arionne would look behind Arionne at something or someone. And then I noticed a time at the end of the interview when you could see Chantel's microphone being brought closer to her out of nowhere. So we knew somebody was off camera on the other end of the microphone, because you can't see the other end of her microphone, and someone had pushed it toward her. So who was in the room with them? There was a time in the interview where she was picking lint off of his shirt for him. Like, you know how girls do their men, just grooming them up a little bit, fixing them up. And while she was doing it, she kept calling him baby, baby, baby. She would make the E part very high pitched. But I'm like, why is she doing that? We heard you the first time you called him baby. We heard you the second time you called him baby. And the third time. It was cute, kind of, though. So again, she mentioned that he's very cheap acting. There were times where she did not, wanted things. He didn't want to pay for them. and I guess he felt he didn't have to, but I don't know the rules. I've never been flown out before. I don't know these things. But when a girl gets flown out, doesn't she usually get the whole entire trip paid for her? Unless it's something extravagant, of course, that has nothing to do with the person that's flying her out. But you know what I'm saying? There was a time where Arionne asked her if there was any more communication between her and Marsau, and she said no. Well, I would hope so, since you airing out his dirty laundry and his brother's. She said, however, if she wanted communication, there could definitely be communication. That's not a problem on her end. She could contact him still if she wanted to. She still has access to that, basically. So Arionne went on to ask her, what was the thing that stopped y'all from dealing with each other? What was it? What was the last thing? So Chantel goes on to explain that she threatened him. Apparently the money that she had to spend and, paying for her bags, she had to pay for her bags and a couple of other things. Like I said, it was like a few $100s, and she wanted her money back. Okay. And so Martell wasn't trying to come off of it. Like, he just said he acts very cheap like. So Marsau wasn't coming off of the money. And so she threatened Marsau and said, look, if you ain't trying to give me that money back, what's really good, I'm going to tell your wife. Because at this point, she's finally found out that he had a wife. She didn't know he had a wife. She felt that maybe he was dealing with someone as much as a significant other due to the way that he was moving, always taking her to Credit One. And if he gave her money or did anything for her, it would have to be through someone else. So she knew at least by that, never asked, but she just felt she knew because she said she's not a dumb girl. She's a superwoman. She knew that it was another significant other that he was trying to, keep and not find out about him and her. So she decided to go Google him, dig up and see who he was, and she found out that he married, and that's when she threatened him that if she don't give her back his money, she gonna tell Tish. And that is when she said that if you do that, I'm gonna, what Ike said to Tina, if she don't make it, I'm gonna kill you. Yes. She's saying that he said that. That's what he said. So at that point, she called him a weirdo, and she don't want to deal with him no more. However, she said if he hadn't, without the threats and everything, and he had paid her money back, she would still be dealing with him. At one point, she said that she wasn't trying to be with him like that, but then on another time, she said she likes who she likes. When she likes someone, she likes someone. So that was the only thing that was kind of screwy. I don't know what side of the spectrum this is on. It's so early in the game. I guess it's time to go out there in these YouTube streets and these social streets and find out where this interview landed. On what side of the spectrum did this interview land on? Martell is supposed to be live after this, so I'm about to go check and see if he is live. He invited Marsau to go live with him afterward. I don't know. But other than that, I'm about to go see if Martell live. And then I'm about to watch this episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. And then go live on all this BS on YouTube after that. So tell me what y'all think of the interview if y'all watched. If not, and y'all just heard this, what do y'all think as far as this? Because, this is crazy. And I think this has opened up a new can of worms. I am so ready to see how Marsau is going to respond, how Tish is going to respond, and, of course, how Miss Wanda is going to respond. That's going to be a very much of a good kicker. But let me know what y'all think about all of this craziness, because I can't take it no more.